Good morning, everybody. Thursday, getting getting through the week. I think it's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday the 4th of September. So, good morning, everybody, and we'll do a breakdown of. I haven't yet got yesterday's trade recorded because, in fact, I do have the download. I had to download it from what because for some reason it didn't record on OBS. So I will upload that to YouTube later. I've also changed some of the settings on OBS, so hopefully the picture quality is better. You'll have to let me know. Just going to put my limiter on a little bit because it seems to be that I'm clipping on here on the audio. Should be good. I think that's better. Okay, so we'll do a bit of a breakdown from yesterday, and hopefully you guys have all got the for everyone who's got the CMP indicators, hopefully you've all watched this morning's video on that. And sorry, I don't know why, but it seems to be that I'm clipping. It looks like I'm clipping on OBS, so hopefully I'm not, but I haven't changed anything. But anyway, I'll have to have a look at that after. Yeah, hopefully you've watched the indicators video. If you have, then you will obviously have access to that. I don't know why it looks like I'm clipping on OBS. I'm going to have to stop looking at it. Let me know if the audio sounds okay, but it looks like it should be fine. But OBS is having a strange one. So yesterday's trade, I'm just going to zoom out to the daily just so we can sort of see where we are. Wait for the indicators to load. And I will plot. I'm not actually going to plot any of the daily extensions on here just yet because none of them are close enough to be trading other than that 79% fade long, which you can see we closed above. We pierced it 3 times, I think. Pierced the 62 3 times and then traded that 79% fade twice last week, and that is still where we are. So I'm not really going to pay attention to that, George, just because it's not that technical. It did break the 62, so all I'm really looking at is just kind of a day trade point of view, is just where we are. So we've obviously came down, and I'm pretty much just going to be viewing today based on the fact if we can hold above yesterday's support, which for me right now is going to be around kind of like 450s. You'll notice on the half an hour time frame there isn't really any clean RTH draws that I can see from yesterday. I mean, if we go back to yesterday's trading just so you can see, you'll notice we came down. It looks like very similar to Monday. Very similar to Tuesday in the sense of selling the highs, buying the lows. But the only real traditional that I can see is most likely this draw here. So I'm just going to see how that plots onto today. And I'm going to look for that high to high, which we have traded once, twice. So I will probably do one or two things. I will draw this to the open, wherever that open print will be, and see if we come down to what would be about maybe 420s to 440s and see if we get any bid longs from there. I would say that's probably harder to get just because, again, you're not above the previous day high. I would prefer to be above that, but obviously I'm not going to just take longs every single time above previous day highs. So there will be trades where I am trading longs below that. The trend for the day on the ETH is around 370s, which is that a full 61 or a 79? That probably lines up with a full 79% fade long. So that is kind of like your line in the sand. You know, we could get a full 79% fade long from yesterday. But on the week, that would probably, let's have a look where that lines up with. Doesn't even give us a 38% retracement. So this is the importance of using different composites or different time segments to be able to frame your day. Because if you just looked at this from yesterday's view, you'd kind of see, you know, this could come down to the 79% fade long. But from a weekly point of view, it's still, you know, still above the 38% retracement. So I don't value any of this. Exactly what I said yesterday in terms of value. I don't really see much value until we get those deeper pullbacks. So I'm just going to, as I do that, draw some anchored VWAPs. I haven't done any charting this morning, so I'm a little bit off at the moment. But I'm going to do an anchored VWAP from yesterday's low. In fact, I'm going to change that to the ATR candle. And you'll notice we haven't yet traded. That support. So you've got potential bounce zone here where we traded once, twice, maybe a third time. But other than that, the only thing I would do is go to the hourly time frame and just see where we are on the week. Just see where value is on the week, and wait for this to plot. Give it a second. See where we are. So we traded it. Yeah, we traded it yesterday. So I will just draw that to that low. So I think I'm going to stick with what I've said, and I'm going to look at that draw from yesterday. And I'm just going to see. This is the beauty of me doing this pretty much live, because as rusty as I am in the morning, you kind of get to witness me literally breaking this down live. So yeah, I think all value lines up with pretty much a same anchor new high, 38, which is at 452s. Or if you want to be extra patient, you've got that anchored VWAP at 435s or 434s. So pretty much this kind of zone yesterday. And if you remember yesterday, I've deleted it now, but this was the trade setup we mentioned yesterday. And this was absolutely valid in terms of wait for that high. And that is exactly what happened. So when we opened, obviously I was waiting. I had the price down here, but then when we made a new high, you can see that exact setup is what we traded. And obviously that was absolutely solid. So waiting for that smart buy zone, which is what we did yesterday, and we had that huge reaction, was just the trade to be had. So same goes today. I will be looking for that area. Ideally, you know, previous day high would be, let's say, here as well, but it's not. So it is what it is. But magnitude for the day, we have lots of room up to weekly highs and also daily highs. So 770s for the day, and obviously weekly is up there at 820s. Those are obviously to the downside as well. You've got 23 200s, and the weekly ATR, which hasn't changed this whole week because we've been going up, is at 750s, 22 750s. So yeah, keep it fairly straightforward today. Obviously things change at open, but all lines for me, or all areas, line up to be around 450s to 430s for any potential long setups. Ideally, you want to be above the previous day high, so you know you could wait until you get that pop above and then maybe take the easier trade, but you know it's entirely up to you what you do. But you could get something like this, you know, and you could just be really patient and wait for this sort of trade. This is market showing its hands. This could be a traditional into a same anchor new high, trades a traditional again, get that second entry, and you could trade a micro extension inside. So it doesn't really matter what trade you take, in my opinion. It's not really going to move the needle for me, but that is pretty much what I'd be looking at. And again, if you're not confident of this move here, you wait for that to take place. If it doesn't take place, then you don't take it. If the opposite happens and you break down, I would just be looking for this yesterday's low. Where are we? Yesterday's low and this 79% fade long to be that resistance. And then same goes, you just wait for some sort of traditional. Hopefully you get something here same anchor new low, or a low to low extension for those who have got the masterclass, and maybe you get something like that. So either way, I don't really care exactly what side of the market trades. We'll trade it either way. But that's kind of what I'm going with this morning. And yeah, if there's any questions, let me know. But I will move over to Whoop and we will go live on there. And I don't think there's anything else. I think that's pretty much everything. If there's anything else, obviously I'll let you all know on Whoop. Everyone on YouTube, I will see you all tomorrow. And everyone on Whoop, I will be on there in 2 minutes.